Good afternoon. My name is Nicholas Walling, and I'm going to be your homeowner orientation specialist for the day. This orientation is going to educate you on how to use your new home and will equip you with the tools necessary to be the best advocate that you can be for your home. Let's get started. So this is your property stake. This identifies and marks where the property corner is. Before your closing, all four corners of the property will be staked with a wooden stake that helps identify the corners of the property. Next, we have your sewer cleanout. This will be located on the property, normally at the front left or front right corner of the property. This is where the sewer ties in to the main sewer line underground and then travels this way towards your home to a secondary cleanout on the side of the house that then enters into the home. The benefit of having two cleanouts is so that if there is a situation where the sewer line were to be plugged or clogged of some sorts, a licensed plumber would be able to snake the line to identify if there is a clog in the line inside of the home from this point here, or if there's a issue at the street, you would know to contact the governing municipality, whoever the sewer company would be. So it helps you troubleshoot the problems a little bit faster. Located here, we have your water meter. This cover is locked and governed by the local municipality for the water and or sewer company. Your home is equipped with phone and telephone wires that will be stubbed out of the exterior of your home per the floor plan and selected option. These wires will start from the inside of the home at its original location and run directly to the exterior of the home. In certain communities, there will be a white structured panel box that will have all of the phone and cable lines in the home run directly to that location, which is inside of the home, with one tube coming from the inside of the panel to the exterior of the home. That tube will be used by your cable or service provider to run a line from the exterior of the home to the interior of the home to that white panel location. Here we have your primary condensation drain line. This is for condensation to come from the furnace in the attic. If you see anything dripping from this, it is a good thing and it means the unit is working correctly. Now, if this were to stop dripping and you were to see water dripping from this area here, this acts as your secondary, or in other words, a backup condensation drain line, so that if this were to stop dripping, that condensation still has somewhere to go, which would dump it out of this location here. If you ever see anything coming out of this pipe, highly would recommend contacting an HVAC representative. As we discussed with your primary and secondary on the exterior of the home, this is where all of that condensation comes from. In the situation that the primary line were to be clogged, like we discussed, the condensation would drip into this pan here that acts as a backup, and that moisture or that condensation would then go to the exterior of the home. There is a switch that if this pan fills up so high, this switch will act as an emergency shutoff to prevent this pan from overflowing. Here we have your compressor that is working with your HVAC system. Located over here, we have your tankless water heater with a relief line to drain water from it. Recommend that a licensed plumber does a routine periodic service on this. And here we have your gas meter. Now, with regard to your utilities, for your gas, electric, water, and sewer, you will be required to transfer these services into your name within 3 business days from your closing date. Here, we have your garage door opener. You'll notice that there is a booklet and 2 garage door opener clickers that will be located on the motor upon your move-in. Now, in the situation that while the door is closing, any motion were to travel in front of the sensors, the door will emergency stop itself and reopen. If the home loses power, you can pull on this red cable and it will take the door completely off of the track to allow you to be able to open and close the door freely with no issues. You'll notice in your foundation, you have what are called control joints to help with expansion and contraction of the concrete. As you'll notice here in this joint, there is already a crack that has occurred, which means that these control joints are serving their purpose and helping with the expansion that is occurring. Here we have your main water shutoff. You'll notice that parallel means the water is running freely through the home. Perpendicular means the water has been completely shut off. In an emergency situation, if you see any water leaking from somewhere that it shouldn't, your first move should always be to run into the garage and shut off the water. There will be a sticker located on your breaker panel with emergency procedures and what to do in that situation and who to call. Keep in mind that a dripping sink at 2 in the morning is not necessarily an emergency. All of your breakers have already been labeled for you, ready to go. Again, in an emergency situation, there is a main power shutoff that is located on the breaker panel. So in the situation you need to cut power to the entire home, you would just switch this from the on position to the off position. In certain homes, this switch is located on the exterior of your home next to the power meter. Your home may come with a thermostat for your tankless water heater, either located in the garage or in the laundry room. This is placed in an easy location for a licensed plumber to make any adjustments to. We do not recommend that you make any changes to this, and that if there is a problem, you would contact a licensed plumber directly. Upon arrival at your new home, your builder may have placed green and blue tape on the walls. Green tape is to identify any drywall imperfections, while blue tape is used to identify any paint or caulking imperfections. There will be a roll of green and blue tape placed on the kitchen countertop for you, along with a checklist that you can use to walk through the home to identify any blemishes that we may have overlooked. While you are walking through the home, please ensure to maintain a 6-foot distance away from the wall, which is in accordance with the South Carolina residential construction standards. So as your new home goes through its first year of expansion and contraction from the temperature and season changes, normal shrinkage cracks, which may include pops and seams, are going to occur and should be expected. D.R. Horton offers a one-time drywall service where we come in and we fix these imperfections for you. We recommend that you save this for your 11-month warranty, which will allow the home to go through that full expansion and contraction process. Keep in mind that drywall service, we will not be doing any sanding or painting, and it will be strictly mud work only. Caulk has been used in different locations of your home. As we discussed with your drywall and paint, normal expansion and contraction is going to occur, which will cause shrinkage, which is normal and to be expected. Routine maintenance should be performed on an as-needed basis. Home maintenance stores do sell caulking and caulk guns, so simply just follow manufacturer's instructions for the different products in your home to ensure that you're using the proper caulk in relation to the product that requires it. In your bathroom, you'll want to make sure that you do a functions test on the stopper to ensure that the water does hold properly. No leaks. By turning on the water and opening up the cabinet, you will find that there is going to be a water shutoff located inside of the cabinet. You'll find that based on your community, there will be 2 different types of water stops. Water stops that be pushed and pulled in to turn off the water, as well as water shutoffs that are a quarter turn clockwise and counterclockwise. Every sink location in the home will have a water shutoff. Every toilet in your home will come equipped with a similar style water shutoff directly behind the toilet. Be sure to use best practices and good judgment when it comes to flushing different things down your toilets. Things like feminine products, paper towels, toys, diapers, those things you definitely do not want to flush down the toilet. Keep in mind that the home does come with a 30-day sewer backup warranty, so that if a sewer backup were to occur in the home within the first month of you living here, D.R. Horton will come out to investigate the issue just to be sure that it was not something that was construction related. For your mirrors, simple glass cleaners are all you're going to want to use that are non-abrasive to keep these mirrors looking great as possible. Be sure to check them for any chips or cracks or damage prior to your closing, because these are not warrantable once you close on the home. For tubs and showers, simply turn on the water to the desired temperature based on the color. To engage the shower head, pull up on the lever. To disengage the shower, simply press down. And to close the shower drain inside of the tub, you'll want to perform a clockwise turn while pushing down. And to open, pull up and turn counterclockwise. One thing to note, that as you move in and you get situated, If you take a look over here, there will be a small gap on each side of where the paneling comes together. This area is specifically not caulked or sealed with anything, so that if any water or moisture were to land on this ledge, there's an opportunity for that water to drain down as opposed to sitting stagnant against the drywall. D.R. Horton offers a variety of different countertops, ranging from granite, cultured marble, laminate, and quartz. Best practices and maintenance for all types of countertops are going to be simple, non-abrasive, all-purpose cleaners that are going to keep the countertops looking brand new. Keep in mind that excessive weight or sitting on your countertops could cause the countertop to come away from the wall or crack and break. Your kitchen countertops, regardless of the material, should never be used as a cutting board, as this can damage them severely. We also recommend not placing anything hot off the stove or out of the oven directly onto your countertops, as this can also cause damage and cracking. Be mindful that for granite countertops, they are prone to staining, so be sure to not let any liquid sit for long periods of time. If you have cultured marble in your bathrooms, this material can scratch or burn if mistreated, so make sure you treat them gently. Things like makeup, curling irons, or hair straighteners can stain or leave burn marks. Located in one of your kitchen cabinet drawers, you'll find a goodie drawer. Inside here, you will have all of the manuals that came with the different appliances that were provided in your home by D.R. Horton. For your appliances, we'll do a demonstration on each, starting with your microwave. It plugs into an electrical outlet directly inside of the cabinet right above it. First, you want to check the fans to ensure that they are working properly. These screens for the fan can be removed and should be cleaned regularly. The lights work properly, and a function test of the microwave itself. You will either have an electric or gas stove in your home, which is dependent on your community. For the stove, if it is gas, simply turn the switches on to engage the niter, and the flames will kick on and adjust the height as needed. Electric stoves will operate in the same exact functionality, except they won't have any gas. For your oven, I highly recommend that you run it through a self-cleaning function before using it to make any casseroles or do that first family dinner. If you ever have to get access to the plug or the gas shutoff behind the stove, be sure to make a point to lift up on the front of the stove when pulling out of the opening and then setting down. By dragging the stove out of the opening is really going to scratch up those nice new floors, and we definitely don't want that to happen. And then of course, when putting the stove back into the opening, you'll want to lift back up, put it back inside, and then set it down. For your dishwasher, make the necessary adjustments to the starting panel, simply press start. You'll want to make sure that you run a little bit of hot water before starting the dishwasher so that you've got hot water in those lines immediately when it gets started. Be mindful that there is a power switch that this dishwasher runs off of that will either be located to the left or right of your sink or underneath the sink inside of the cabinet, okay? If the dishwasher were to not start, make sure to check this location to see if this switch has not been switched on accident. Where the refrigerator will be located, there will be a water shutoff in that location. Before drinking any water out of the refrigerator, you'll want to run 3 to 4 minutes of water so that any water that was sitting stagnant in that water line is wasted as opposed to being drank. That first set of ice cubes, you're going to want to dump those as well. In your laundry room, you'll find that there will be a hot and cold water supply with similar style shutoffs as the rest of your home, a drain line for the washing machine wastewater, and a dryer vent, which will go to the exterior of the home, as well as a plug for the dryer itself. You'll want to make sure that you inspect all of your water lines and drain lines on a regular basis to ensure there's no cracks or rotting occurring. And for your dryer vent, you'll want to clean this regularly as well to avoid any lint buildup, which could potentially cause condensation in the wall or even potentially a fire. Your home is equipped with ground fault circuit interrupters, also known as GFCIs. These have a built-in system that detect moisture or fluctuation in power. Code requirements state that these need to be placed in locations where a person can come in contact with water while holding a power tool or some form of electricity. You'll notice that certain GFCI outlets will have a test and reset button. You'll want to test these regularly to make sure that they're working properly, simply by pressing the test button, which will cause a light to turn on, and by hitting the reset button, will bring power back into the outlet. If you do not have a test reset button located on any of the outlets in your home, don't be alarmed. You will simply perform that test directly at the breaker panel in the garage. The smoke detectors in your home are hardwired into the electrical system itself. So as long as your home has power, the smoke detectors will function properly. Keep in mind that there is a 9-volt battery backup in each one of your smoke detectors. So if the power were to go off, your smoke detectors would still function properly. You'll want to make sure that if you hear them chirping, that means that the batteries need to be replaced, and you'll want to clean them at the same time and do a functions test by simply pressing the button located on the smoke detector. For our communities that have natural gas, some of your smoke detectors will be a dual functioning smoke and carbon monoxide detector, which require the same maintenance and testing regularly as regular smoke detectors. If your home has a fireplace, the power switch will be located either on the left or right hand side. When turning on the fireplace, a delay in the flame kicking on in the back is common and should be expected. When it does kick on, it should kick on quietly and very fast. Now, once the flame kicks on, you'll notice that the glass here will begin to condensate. As the fireplace continues to run over the course of the next couple of minutes, this glass will begin to start to clear up as the condensation dissipates. In order to get to the gas shutoff located underneath the fireplace, simply remove the screen, where you will find a red shutoff, with parallel being on, perpendicular being off. And as you can see, the flames have dissipated. If a power outage were to occur, there is a battery backup that's located directly underneath the fireplace. So you can throw 2 batteries in there and still be able to have the fireplace work. Keep in mind that when the fireplace is in use, the glass as well as the exterior vent get extremely hot. So you'll want to make sure that all persons maintain a safe distance, as well as keeping any combustibles away from this location. Your HVAC thermostat works to keep your home at an even temperature throughout. It is extremely easy to utilize as well. Simply press each button, which will filter through the different options that you have. Different modes will be heat, cool, and off. Different fan settings will be auto, on, and circulating. You can also go through the different menu options by pressing the different arrows on the screen. As far as temperature change, simply press the minus and plus signs to go up or down in temperature. For your returns, we recommend changing these filters out every 60 to 90 days. We have found that the more expensive, thicker filters cause the unit in your attic to work a lot harder than it should. By having those thinner, more basic filters, as long as you maintain a routine maintenance of swapping them out, you're going to get the best air quality in your home as possible. Door hardware. In your home, as you come into every room, there will be a doorknob, and for bathrooms and bedrooms, the doorknob will be able to lock. Over time, your doorknobs will become loose due to simple expansion and contraction that is occurring. Simply take a Phillips head screwdriver and adjust the doorknobs so that they are tight. These adjustments will need to occur on an as-needed basis. Now, depending on the style of door that you have, you'll notice that there are 2 types of door stops. Here you have a baseboard style door stop, and here you have a hinge style door stop. You will notice that dependent on how far this thread is in or out will dictate how far the door will open or close. Notice that this only acts as applying a little bit of pressure to the door, and that with enough pressure, the door will surpass that door stop. The white ventilated shelving in your home, which has been placed in different locations like the kitchen pantry and the laundry room, has a 20-pound per linear foot weight limit. So be sure to distribute anything that goes on your shelving, whether it be canned goods in the kitchen pantry or clothing, or detergent for the laundry room, that weight is distributed equally so that the shelves don't fall in or collapse. Here, we have your windows. Your blinds, it's a simple raise and pull. You have a twist knob that is used to open and close the blinds. For your window, left is locked, right is unlocked. By raising the window at least 1.5 to 2 inches here, there are 2 clips on the top of the sash that pull in. The window comes out. You do not want to place the window past a 90-degree point. So I do not recommend leaving the window down on the threshold and walking away. Ideally, you can place the window against the body, full motion to clean, and the window goes back into the sash with no problems. Let's take a look in the attic. Your pull down stairs here, very simple to open. Pull down on the string. The legs will fold out. I recommend that if your pull down stairs are located inside of the home, you put some sort of padding on the bottom of the legs so they don't scratch up your floors. So in your attic, upon entry, you will notice that there is a functioning light switch. There will also be a shutoff for the furnace, to where if there was an issue or a problem, you could simply turn this switch into the off position. It is labeled for you so that you can distinguish which one is the light switch and which one is for the furnace. Now, with this being a gas furnace, there is a gas shutoff, and just like all the other shutoffs in the home like we've discussed, parallel is on, perpendicular is off. If there is any leftover flooring in the attic, it is yours to keep for future use. Between now and the closing, your builder will be going over with you how to rekey the locks prior to close. And as we come through the front door, we'll do a functions test on your doorbell. Welcome home.